Tee hee hee hee. Tee hee. Tee hee hee hee. Tee hee hee.
Well, you're eating a banana. I thought I was ready for it, but I wasn't. Kind of like Aquaman. I thought I was ready, but boy, was I not. Please finish. I'll watch.
Okay, you're alright.
Oh my God. Guys, he's gonna choke. Don't make him laugh too hard.
So let's talk about Aquaman.
Where do we begin? Arthur Curry, the king of Atlantis, but not really the king because he's living on land.
He's basically living a dream, doing whatever the hell he wants and drinking beer.
He's kind of like a celebrity, but he doesn't want to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
This ain't your grandpappy's Aquaman.
If your grandpappy grew up watching Aquaman, he's gonna go, this ain't my grandpappy movie.
It's like, whoa. Yeah, so I don't even know where to begin. You know, I think I read a lot of reviews, I saw a lot of people say, this is great. This is it. Like, we're back on track again. The DC universe, here we go again. And I just don't see that.
Really?
This movie was fine.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's more of an insult than like it was bad. You know, like it was fine.
I enjoyed watching it, but at the same time, I'm like, this serves no purpose for me. I will say though, like, you know, it is fun, but it did feel like what the first Thor movie was attempting to do and failed.
Yeah.
This one sort of succeeded, but at the same time, there's just so much going on that it kind of ruined the fun of it.
Yeah, there's so much going on, and there's just so many different kind of styles. Like, we were joking about this, but there's a Sigur Rós song that's very nice, like chill music, and then it's beautiful music, and then you got a Pitbull song that comes out of nowhere, and it's one of those things that, like, the same thing with Jason Momoa. You have like this, you have these classically trained actors like Patrick Wilson who choose all the scenery.
Oh my God,
and it's fantastic.
He is the ocean master.
And he's like,
and so, you know, I never like read the Aquaman comics, so when he's like, I must become the ocean master, I was like, wait a second, what movie am I watching?
But then you have Jason Momoa, and I like Jason Momoa. God bless him, though. He tries his best and when I say tries his best, he just plays himself.
Yeah, I mean that's what you get with Jason Momoa. Is like, I don't think he'll ever be like, oh, I've lost 50 pounds for a movie to play this character. Yeah. He's gonna play himself, which could work for the rest of his life, but at the same time, it's hard as an actor to continue just playing yourself.
Yeah. And there were times that I really did that. Like, I thought, okay, this is a good scene. This is a good, like, emotional scene for him. Like, the whole kind of movie, it's him accepting who he is, but also doing it in a way where he learns a little lesson, a little mercy.
The whole mercy storyline is really good because it's like, at the beginning, he's like, I don't really care what you do. Yeah. Let your dad die. But then at the end, he's like, oh, Ocean Master, you're my brother. Yeah. Please, let's hug.
And, you know, it's like, that's the thing. A lot of this is pretty, like, you see things coming from a mile away. You see things, you know, like, okay, that's going to come back here, and this is this, and that's that. But Jason Momoa, like, yeah, at times he gives this emotional performance, and at times he's just a cartoon to me.
Yeah. Which is like, I guess, you know, since they did pick James Wan, who directed Insidious and the Saw movies, and a lot of his movies are like paint by numbers, but they're fun. His goal with Jason Momoa and Aquaman was to make a fun character who was kind of cartoony, but sometimes it didn't fit the movie.
No.
Because sometimes the movie gets so serious, like at the end where he's trying to actually get the trident. I mean, spoiler, everyone knows the plot of Aquaman. Yeah. So he wants the trident.
He's going to get a trident. He's looking for the trident. He doesn't really want the trident, but
he has to. He's got to get it. Yeah. Anyway, so he gets it, and it's just like the whole moment didn't feel like
earned.
It didn't. Well, it felt earned. It just didn't feel serious enough for the moment.
And James Wan also did one of the Fast and the Furious movies, and it leans a lot more towards that. And it has there's like a horror element to it at like in one part, and that part's cool.
The horror part it just confirmed my hatred of anything deep water. I will never go down further than 5 feet in the ocean because I will die.
Ocean Master's gonna get you.
There's things down there, and they will kill me.
Yes, I see a good movie in this.
Yeah.
I see a great movie in this. I see like a Marvel level movie, and I hate to just say like compare things to Marvel, but when you're at the top of your game, like
they
that's
set the standards.
Yeah, and so there's a great movie in here. The worst part to me is like when Jason Momoa just shows up in his normal clothes.
He's shirtless.
He's shirtless. He's got like a wallet chain and leather pants, and that's cool, man. If that's your style, that's your style. But it can't be every character style. And then like something happens and he's fighting, or he'll do like this, and his hair will all fly back. And he'll look straight at the camera, and then he'll be like, a guitar will just show up and like,
and then he says something dumb like,
and he's like,
anybody order cheese?
Who ordered the fish? Like something stupid like that.
But that's sort of things I find fun with superhero movies is like when they are like groan-inducingly corny. That's kind of fun to me.
It's just disappointing. I wanted so much more from this movie.
What do you think about Black Manta?
Black Manta was cool. We haven't really got to talk about it. He's a little cheesy.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying.
Yeah.
He's a little whiny. And
he's kind of really whiny.
Yeah, he's a daddy's boy, you know?
It's like, I'm a bad guy, but you killed my dad, so I must avenge you. It's like, dude, you guys are pirates. You expect to die.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, the love storyline, I was just like not for it. I was like, it was so like forced in there.
Yeah.
It's like, they must love each other. It's like, dude, you're stealing your brother's wife.
Yeah.
What are you doing, you freak? I don't know. Sorry.
I'm kind of on the side of Ocean Master. There's so much in this movie. Like we didn't even get to talk about.
We can talk about this for 2 hours and 20 minutes.
We didn't. That's the length of the movie. Do you think brighter future for DC? Like, do you think Shazam's gonna be good? Do you think
Shazam's gonna suck? Straight up, it's gonna suck.
I came up with a rating system.
You sure did, didn't you?
And I think it fits perfectly with Jason Momoa. I think Jason Momoa will be proud of it. How many Jason Momoa wallet chains out of 10 would you give it?
5.
Yeah.
Because that's not annoying. It's like not annoying. It's still gonna jangle a little bit.
And
but
that's true.
It's not gonna like hit your butt and be like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
As you're walking, just like, oh, there's too many chains hitting my butt right now.
I would give it between I'm probably right there, somewhere between a 5 and a 6. You know, it's like, it doesn't get in your way.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Sometimes like if someone saw you with it, they're judging.
But some people would be like, that's cool. You must like
guy.
a good 5 wallet chains. There we go.
Shazam! Like that.
Shazam!
That was a.
Brief history: 1940s. Shazam, aka Captain Marvel, came before Superman, before all other people. Became super popular. Basically, why people started reading comics. Fawcett Comics goes out of business because DC keeps suing them because it's too much like Superman.
So this movie, it follows Billy Batson. He is this foster kid who's just kind of bouncing around. He's kind of breaking the rules, breaking the law,
But he's breaking the law for good reason.
For good reason. He finds himself in this foster home with these other kids, and then he defends one of them, and then one day he's given the powers of Shazam by this old wizard. So when he says the word Shazam, he becomes this actual superhero, like a grown-up. It's played by Zach Levi. But he still has the mind of a kid.
Zachary Levi does a good job as Shazam.
Yeah.
I will get that out of the way. But I didn't really enjoy the movie. It felt like I got what they're going for. Like, I know it's supposed to be corny. I know it's supposed to be like over the top. Oh, we're paint by numbers, and that's what we're doing.
I know, but here's the thing: is I actually loved this movie. It surprised me. I walked in and I was not expecting much, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, I think that it has a lot of heart, and the story's pretty basic and it's pretty paint by numbers. But Marvel does that with most of their origin movies, though too.
True.
This movie's like, hey, this is just an origin story. It's pretty much big, which is a great movie.
There's parts to like to this movie.
Yeah.
It's just overall, I was,
It's the first superhero movie for me, I think, that I enjoyed the characters and what they go through more than what I enjoyed, like, the action. Because there's not a lot of action in this. I found myself invested in Billy, in both versions, too, like the kid and Zachary Levi. I think they're both great. It moved me a little bit. Wow. I was moved by it. Like, it was that, it was a story. It was a superhero movie that actually said something, said something about being a superhero. Yeah. And you don't have that with your Aquaman or your Captain America. It deals with like things about being a superhero, but that responsibility. It's like the last time that we did that was like Spider-Man, you know, where it's like, why are you a superhero kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't agree with that.
Well, I don't know.
I feel like they were trying to go for the Spider-Man, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, this is why you need to be a superhero and why people need to help other people. Family is found in different places. Not everyone has, like, a true family. Like, I get that. But at the same time, I felt like, I know I connected with you, JD. I'm sorry. It just felt like
But that's fine.
Yeah,
That's
it felt like the writing was a bit lazy to me. There's no other way this movie could be.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta walk before you can run, Michael.
That's true.
Sometimes you gotta Shazam before you can Shazam, you know?
I will say the Zack Snyder route of being like super moody and sad and emo is not the way comic book movies need to go. Superhero comics are just, you're there for fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can be sad. Yeah, you can be emotional. But at the end of the day, you gotta leave and you gotta have fun.
I'm saying is you should go see this movie.
I think if you have children that are around the same age, like 10 to 14, they're really going to love this movie.
It's just really good. I wish we could go more into it, but I don't want to spoil it because there's so much to like give away, but it's just, it's good.
Do they reference...
Unless you're Michael.
It wasn't wrestling, so I hated it. Sorry. Not wrestling, I hated it. That's going to be my rating from now on. Not wrestling, hated it.
Well, you ready for this? I think my hair looks pretty crazy right now.
It's a little nuts.
Wait until he rates it.
I go 8 out of 10 sparkly fingers.
I thought you were going to give the full 10.
No.
I was expecting that once he put up his hands.
This is not...
It's 9.
Oh my god.
I would go 5 out of 10. Because I don't want to see this movie. And that's a wrestling reference.
What is the wrestling thing? I know that one.
Wait, I can't see you.
Yeah, because I did the John Cena thing.
Oh, I forgot. You're back now.
Yeah. So anytime you do this,
whoa, where'd he go? Yeah. Whatever, man.
That was the most civil disagreement I've ever seen in my life.
Well, because at the end of the day, I don't really care about this.
Take notes, Captain America and Iron Man.
Hey guys, want to hear a joke?
Sure.
3 guys walk into a room and sit on a couch and discuss movies and think anybody cares.
It's a good one. It's a solid button.
We saw Joker, folks. We saw Joker, folks, and we're some jokers. But yeah, we saw Joker with Joaquin Phoenix, directed by the stupid Todd Phillips.
Yep.
He's real dumb. Just stop talking, man.
The funny thing is, he's only said one dumb thing, and everyone's like, we're done with them.
I don't know, man. He's done some dumb things, too.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's put dumb things on screen. And
true.
I don't know if Joker's one of those things, but it's not my favorite.
So you're saying it's no road trip?
It's no old school?
All I'm saying is I've got a Joker hangover, and I don't like it.
No, I don't. These jokes can be real bad this whole episode, so get ready.
We're going to be some war dogs. War dogging.
Woof woof! So the Joker is one of Batman's villains, the most notorious. And if you've not heard of either of them, you've been under a rock.
Where are you?
Yeah. Batman and Joker are part of American pop culture.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Since the 90s for sure, but before that as well. Especially like the 60s.
Cesar Romero.
With his mustache painted over.
Before we get started, because there's a lot to talk about, and the thing that I know everyone's going to say is like, Joaquin's the best. It's so good. He says he's the best actor. And yeah, he's great in this movie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He is great. But guess what? He's great in most movies. He has a great performance.
Sure does.
He is chilling. He is scary. So that's not what we're talking about, though.
Yeah.
It's a very controversial movie right now. I don't know if you watch the news.
I might sometimes, occasionally.
I actually don't.
We got it. We know. You love Joaquin Phoenix, then why didn't you show up for The Master or Her? You know, joke's on you, dude. Joke's on you.
In terms of like news coverage, I think the FBI warning and all of this stuff, I think it got it wrong about the movie. But at the same time, I could see how people are afraid of what the movie is portraying.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Because it is definitely a reflection of real life.
Yeah. This is a movie that it's about a bad guy.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of these movies where it's like Maleficent, Cruella de Vil. You know, movies that they're focused on introducing like, well, why is this person like this?
Yeah.
And this movie is that, but it doesn't make it sympathetic. But it does. It's like that's what's confusing. It's like you're supposed to sympathize with this character, and he's a terrible person.
Yeah, but up to a point.
But I just don't. I mean, I feel like they never really say, he's the bad guy now.
Here's my counter argument to that, is the whole movie's from the point of view of the Joker, and he's mentally ill, so he's an unreliable narrator, and the film shows throughout that things are happening that aren't really happening. You can kind of infer that, the Joker is a bad guy. You're not supposed to root for him, but it's told through his lens. So you hear all this music, so it can be confusing to people.
This character's so over the top, and that's what I feel like I've loved about him, and like every portrayal, is that you're like, this dude is ridiculous a little bit, and it's cartoony, and it's still like, you know, Heath Ledger was cartoony and crazy, but never really, I feel like, I don't know, he had Batman in the movie to kind of counteract all that. We once again, maybe a spoiler, see Bruce Wayne's parents die.
Mm-hmm. I love the cutting back and forth between, like, that's how the Joker is coming out, and then like cut back to Batman and his dead parents are right there. It's like, oh, that's the whole point of the movie. It's like he's rising in chaos, and then Batman's rising. But this is like a super realistic, like, this is how someone like him can turn into an insane psychopathic supervillain.
There are real life examples of people falling through the cracks of these systems that have been set up to hopefully help these people. Seeing the Joker act that way and slip through the cracks, it's sympathetic, but to me it's like, it's a real good example of like, there's a lot of things we need to fix in America, and I think that's the point of the movie.
But did it really follow through with all that?
It didn't, because the end of the movie is basically just like, maybe none of it happened because the Joker's mentally insane.
I mean, I get where people like it, but also, you know, people love Avatar, and I'm like, I'm not comparing the two by any means.
JD literally just compared Joker to Avatar.
All I'm saying is that, like, I think in like 10 years we look back at this movie and we're like, remember that Joker movie that came out? And everyone was like, you know, I don't know. There's something about this movie that I'm just like, yeah, we get it, and I just don't understand why it's being like praised as this groundbreaking film, as if we haven't had Taxi Driver before.
It's the same beats as Taxi Driver. It's just the Joker this time.
This is a movie where he starts out sympathetic.
Yeah.
He is our Walter White. And you're like, I get why he's doing it. Yeah. Or I get why he did it. And then it starts to become this revolution that in the movie he's not a part of, which is shocking to me.
He just sort of is like seeing it on TV and it's like, oh, that's cool, I guess.
And that's why I think I wanted it, if it was going to be something like a good villain movie, I wanted something like, we live in a world like Breaking Bad happened, you know, like where, you know, we have great antagonists who you sympathize with, but at some point you're like, I'm done. I'm still gonna follow this journey with you, but you're straight up a bad dude now. You know, you're a bad guy, as Billie Eilish would say. That's for the teens. That's for you.
So I disagree with you, where I thought there's parts of this movie that are absolutely like fantastically good. With the comedy wise,
I don't know if you heard, but Todd Phillips doesn't do comedy anymore, do you?
Yeah, I did hear.
Woke culture has taken over, so
it has. So that's a big problem.
There is no comedy. There is no Broad City. There is no Always Sunny.
There's not a movie about imaginary friend Hitler movie coming out next week. Like,
sorry, continue.
There's parts in this movie that I was like laughing out loud, but like also super uncomfortable, which is my favorite thing to do.
You love being uncomfortable?
Yes. And this movie makes you feel real uncomfortable. And they did such a good job at that. Like, I'm not just like the content, like it's disgusting and disturbing and like, oh man, I don't like this. But physically, like every single shot is deep focus where it's just like all you see is Joaquin's face. And then all you see is like the grimy subway.
Yeah, I think it's a well shot movie. Mm-hmm. But that's not Todd Phillips. That's not the writing. Like that only gets you so far.
Joaquin's performance is what drives the movie. If this was Jared Leto's Joker, it'd be like the worst movie of the year. Yeah. Just imagine everyone, close your eyes at home and put Jared Leto's Joker into this movie and just think of the scenes that are happening. And it's literally the worst movie of all time.
With damage on his forehead.
Yeah. Sometimes in the comics, he's not likable at all. And I think that's where you need to go with the Joker. That's where I think Jared Leto and Joaquin connect with Joker. It's like, he's an unlikable character. Yeah. There's nothing that ever should be liked about the Joker. But the point I think is, and where it gets lost because there's no Batman in the movie,
Yes.
is that there's no one to be opposite of that.
Yeah.
Just don't idolize the Joker. Don't idolize Darth Vader. Don't put your kid in Darth Vader costumes. Like, yeah, he gets redemption at the end.
You have to put him in at the end when he's like old and burned out.
Exactly.
That's the Darth Vader
sad.
costume.
But you can't idolize villains.
Story-wise, obviously this movie is predictable. Theme-wise, it's happened before.
Mhm.
But if you're into cinematography and into acting, it's worth seeing it just that alone.
Didn't even talk about Robert De Niro.
And Robert De Niro, yeah.
Who for 10 minutes gives the performance of I don't know, like he's just been everywhere. And
well, the funny thing is with the Robert De Niro character, I don't know why I just did that with my eyebrows. It's basically Jerry Lewis's character from King of Comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Only just like a short, quick version of it.
It's just funny to me that De Niro's like, I gotta nail this.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I can't phone this one in.
How many King of Comedy out of 10 would you give this?
I give it like a 6 out of 10 for me. You know, like there are enjoyable parts. There are parts that you're like that. But to me, I'm like, okay, cool. I think I gave Escape Room a 6 out of 10.
I think we need to work on our leveling of our
No,
rating
my level's
system.
just fine.
Well, Zach's for sure is bad. Is
Mine's
off.
terrible.
Yeah.
I'll admit that. The whole time I was thinking like, I gotta rate this right. And it was at an 8.
Mm-hmm.
But then that stupid twist, and then the cringy dialogue at the end with like, society's the problem, not me. It dropped down. It dropped down big time. 7.
It was at an 8, and it dropped down.
I'm gonna drop this down about 1 level. Zach,
that was
we're gonna have to take you into some rating training. I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other about this. I'm very neutral about the movie. Joaquin was amazing. He deserves a Scorsese Oscar. You know, it's an alright movie. It's trying to say something about society, and it kind of fails because it's about the Joker. Because you want to keep this shroud of mystery around the Joker's origin story, which they do.
Yeah.
And it ruins the point of the movie. I'm not gonna do a drastic 8 to 7, but I'm gonna say 6.5.
There you go.
All right. Before we end this episode, I need to hear y'all's greatest Joker laughs. I'm gonna have you guys both go at the same time.
Okay.
I'll count you down.
Wait, are we doing like his Joker laugh or like
your
Joker
laugh.
So this is my Joker laugh.
Yeah.
If I was the Joker, then I would laugh.
Yeah.
Go
I'll
laugh.
count you down from 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. We've seen, I think, the only movie that's coming out this week, Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
The Emancipation of one Harley
Harley
Quinn. Which, kind of fun title.
Yeah, did you say the full title when you got your ticket?
Yeah, I said, may I have 1 ticket, please, for the movie known as Birds of Prey.
And then the lady was like, yeah, and then you continued
And
going,
I
like
said,
she was like,
excuse me, I'm not done. And I
guess
had like
whatever.
I had like a Regal accent because I was in Regal Cinemas.
excuse me.
Excuse me, madam. I may want.
Pardon the interruption.
It's Harley Quinn. After
Yes.
the Joker has broken up with her.
She's out of the Suicide Squad.
For now.
She touches on it.
Yeah. And they don't ignore the previous movie,
Yeah.
but they also make it clear like Jared Leto is not going to show up at all.
And they're like, hey, this ain't your cousin's Harley Quinn, all right?
Yeah. It's her having to deal with Ewan McGregor as Black Mask, who is he's just a trust fund baby who lost his money and now he's mad and he wants to make daddy proud. Also, everyone hates Harley Quinn. They find out that Joker's broken up with her and they all want to kill her. And then there's a diamond that has a code inside of it. Impossible, probably. But it's a comic book movie. You do impossible things.
Yeah.
And then hijinks ensue. The Birds of Prey show up. It's a good little time.
Birds of Prey, we're not talking like eagles,
No,
like hawks. We're talking
talking a canary.
canary.
We're talking a huntress.
So really just one,
Well, I guess
probably
huntress.
just one bird, if you'd really think about
Well,
it.
huntress is like an eagle,
Maybe.
and then there's the cop bird. Is
The cop bird and
Yeah.
the preteen bird.
yeah, just as all birds are.
It kind of feels like what Suicide Squad wanted to be, or was supposed to be before any studio meddling, or the crazy director, or Jared Leto got on the set.
But you could tell, like watching Suicide Squad, there is a good movie in
Yes.
there. It's just the studio interference and all the weird stuff with Jared Leto might shock you, but I was fine with his Joker.
For this universe,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that too. Do I want him to have tattoos all over his
No.
face? No. That's my biggest issue with like even Harley Quinn at this point. It's like I can't watch an hour and a half long movie where you just got rotten on your face. That's what they did in Suicide Squad, and now we're just kind of left with that. It's like Deadpool and Suicide Squad had a baby, and this is a baby.
Yeah.
And it's rated R.
And you know, just like a baby, they're fun to have around for
fun to
certain
have around.
periods. At least for an hour and 49 minutes.
Yeah. And sometimes they do things that you're like, ooh, it's a baby.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, why'd you throw up there? It's like, well,
Exactly.
I drank too much. I think what is great about this one that wasn't great in Suicide Squad is that the cast elevated the story.
Yes.
So Ewan McGregor as Black Mask is just like the best.
Oh, yeah.
He is just hamming it up. And then you have Chris Messina as Zaz.
Yep.
And this is our first time seeing Zaz on the big screen. And, you know, you've seen him in Arkham Asylum if you played the games or anything like that.
I think he's also in Gotham, the TV show.
Yes, but this version of him felt very much like what Zaz needs to be in the cinematic universe. He's there to be a henchman. He's not there to be like a main character.
And it's realistic enough too. Like
Yeah.
you know, like Zaz like puts a mark on like he has a mark for every person he's killed. And like in the games, in the comic, he just looks like someone's written all over him. And this one, it's like, no, these are legit scars that he's put on. And so that's unsettling. This movie's a little unsettling at times.
It's more brutal than I thought it was.
If I had to say the most unsettling part, definitely Chris Messina.
He played against type.
Yeah,
I've only ever seen him in like rom-coms.
Yeah.
So to see him have fun with a character and just like
No.
go a little crazy.
That's what's fun about Ewan too. It's like you're used to Obi-Wan, you're used to Train Spotting, you're used to like serious roles with some like fun kind of mixed in, but this is just like a whole new level.
He's kind of like a parody of Black Mask at the same time being true to who Black Mask is. But then you also have the Birds of Prey.
Yes.
So you have Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress.
Fantastic.
You have Journey Smollett-Bell as Black Canary.
Also fantastic.
Great. And then you have Rosie Perez as the cop.
I would rather see her cop character from Pineapple Express
Oh, yeah.
be the cop. And it's like, it's fun because she's supposed to be this cop who was raised on 80s TV crimes and she's always saying hard-boiled stuff.
But they didn't do enough with it.
They don't do it.
Yeah.
And I think if there's one thing I would say about this movie is it is not a Birds of Prey movie. This is a Harley Quinn movie, which there's nothing wrong with.
Yeah.
She deserves her own movie. Margot Robbie is fantastic. She is like this character and she's dedicated and she produced this movie and she really fought to have this movie made. So yeah, of course you're going to put the spotlight on the character that sells the most Halloween costumes that people go nuts for and give her like a strong story that's like, you know what, she doesn't need the Joker. But also I would have loved to have seen more like Huntress, to give a little bit more for Black Canary to do, especially because they introduced some things and then, you know, or they introduced some character aspects for Black Canary and then it's just kind of left alone at times. You know,
I think they're playing it safe in this one.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a safe movie. There's a lot of things that's not safe about this movie, but they're in terms of like storytelling, they're playing it safe in case this is a one and done. If this is a successful movie, then they can do more Birds of Prey stuff, which is, I feel like that's their strategy, and it's a smart strategy because Suicide Squad was like, we're going all in. We got Will Smith's Deadshot, Jared Leto as Joker. You just got to figure it out. But we're going to cut Jared Leto out of the entire movie, and the movie makes no sense. Whereas Birds of Prey is like, it's Harley Quinn. She's broke up with the Joker. She's learning how to be on her own. But she joins a bunch of cool characters with her. And they're all cool women who are just like kicking butt. There we go, got it.
Kicking butt.
Didn't cuss. But it's also not like, it's not forced. You're not forcing them to like be cool characters. It's everything is earned. You feel Harley Quinn turning into an anti-hero somewhat, but at the same time, I feel like I'm glad they didn't make her full anti-hero.
Yeah, there's a part at the end that I wish they hadn't gone as far, like good. That's just, I mean, it's a nice, cute moment, but I feel like you still have to, like, somehow this character ends up back in the Suicide Squad. You know, like, we know that, I think James Gunn's even said, like, this takes, like, his Suicide Squad movie takes place after Birds of Prey. I didn't want them to go too far good, and I think they just kind of stepped over a line, but not in a huge way. But it's for me, it's like this movie, I would love for it to be like a 1 but then also take these characters and put them other places too. Or like even the next Birds of Prey movie, like doesn't need to have Harley in it. You could put them in other movies as well and have them show up. Because I mean, like Black Canary and Huntress, like they're both characters who pop up in other things as well and have like other stories that they you know, they're a part of.
I'm fine with this universe continuing without any of the main characters showing up.
Yeah.
I'm fine with just B characters because, you know, I know all the characters. I watched the Batman cartoon.
Yeah.
You don't have to have Batman in Gotham all the time because Gotham has so many stories to tell.
Yeah. I did love Cassandra Cain. And I don't know who the actress is who plays her, and that's my fault. But, like, you know, I hear people talk about Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Margot Robbie. But for me, like, Cassandra, like, that's who I think about the most.
Yeah.
Because she's a kid, and she's holding her own next to, like...
She nailed it.
Next to like, these huge, like, actors.
The direction of this movie is exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah.
It's cute and kitschy when it needs to be, it's serious when it needs to be, it's humorous when it needs to be.
Suicide Squad took the wrong notes from Guardians of the Galaxy. They're like,
yeah.
we need those hit songs, we need those needle drops, man. But we need needle drops that are way too obvious.
Yeah.
But this is like, no, you have to have your characters first, and that's,
Yeah.
this movie is about the characters, whether it's, you know, and the action's fantastic, but again, like it goes back to the characters and whether you believe that they'd work together.
How many caca out of 10 would you give this movie?
I would give it a solid 7.5 caca.
I would say 7 caca.
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 Un esercito di prodi la
Caca.